Namaste, welcome to Inspirations, and this is the first episode of the year 2022. My best wishes to everyone out there. May the year 2022 be more inspirational to us. And with this hope and aspiration, welcome to the brand new episode of Inspirations and Essence of Life. Tonight we have Mr. Mahendra Lohani, who is a program director for Asia in Heifer International, a very warming, charming, and a very inspirational personality who grew up in a remote village of Nepal, and now he's serving as a leader and consultant to different parts of the world. So we are very happy to welcoming Mr. Mahendra Lohani tonight at Inspirations.
Thank you very much. I'm very much delighted to participate in this inspiration program. Congratulations to you guys who have taken up inspiration program to inspire broad spectrum of population. This is unique in many ways, so I'm very lucky to be part of this. My name is Mahendra Lohani. I was born and raised as a child in Nuwako district, 6 hours walking distance north of Kathmandu. That's where I went to elementary school. Then I came to Kathmandu and did my high school and Trichandra campus. After that I went to India for veterinary degree program. I returned back after veterinary degree and I started to work with the government of Nepal. After a couple of years working with the government, I was lucky enough to get scholarship for my master's degree. I went to the Philippines and spent 5 years there. Did my master's as well as PhD with animal nutrition and agriculture economics. I returned back to Nepal and started to work with the government of Nepal. After about 3 years of work, I got an opportunity to go to United States for my postdoctoral program. I was placed with the University of California for 1 year. During that time, I came in contact with Heifer International, and I fell in love with the philosophy and the approach that organization was doing. Heifer International is a global organization which was founded in 1944 and was working globally. The mission of the organization was to end hunger and poverty and caring of earth, which is very broad and very relevant for us even now. The working modality, as they say, is not a cup of milk but a cow. So the organization worked by identifying the needy family. They provided animal inputs.
Let's hear about objectives, vision, mission of Heifer International.
We have a very good program model that we call values-based holistic community development. This program utilizes a set of principles that we call passing on the gift, which includes the first, we call it as cornerstones, Heifer's cornerstone. The first cornerstone is passing on the gift, which teaches families that whenever you receive some support of input or training, you benefit from it, but then do not limit it to your family alone. You pass it on to another family so that another family can benefit. And then continue this chain of helping each other so that more and more families could benefit. So that's first cornerstone. Second is accountability. Third is sharing and caring. And there are improving the environment, genuine need and justice, all the way to spirituality, we also help people to discover who I am and what makes me happy and how do I get that happiness. And in our working in normal life, we can achieve that happiness, the spiritual part, by reinforcing the values that the community, the people, the families, they have been practicing from generation.
That's very inspiring. I would also like to ask that what kind of changes that you have witnessed in Nepali society comparing back in 1990s and today?
In 93, we started to work with one group of women of 25, and we provided them goat. And we helped them. So the number of goat increased, the animals were very healthy, the flock size, the number of animals in the farm increased, and the farmers were very happy. When I went to remind them that it's time for them to share the first female offspring to another group, there was some hesitation. I had to struggle to motivate them. I had to struggle to help them to see the joy in giving. I was partially successful. Out of 75 animals that Heifer had given to these 25 families, only 39 animals were passed on in the first effort. That brought me, there's something I'm missing. I'm not successful to help these families to see the joy in giving. So we did some trial and error and training program, etc. But then we were very successful. In 2013, we went to look what they have done, and we were very surprised to find out that they were passing on the gift to 14th generation from the first generation that we started in 1993. So after 16 years, the practice of passing on the gift was alive, and 14 times 25, that number of families benefited.
Heifer International is performing an outstanding collaboration with local government, and this is very inspiring and replicable for other development organizations across Nepal. I would like to ask, what is the exact modality of Heifer International as a non-government organization and local governments coming together for social development?
It becomes very important for us to partner with the government, whose mandate is to develop their municipality, their communities. And so we sat together with them and discussed how we can partner with them. And now, what happened in a small scale, we have been working in those municipalities. The impact has been so much visible and so deep that the other community members within that municipalities, they demanded with their government, which is municipality, the rural municipality as well as the municipalities, that we want Heifer program in our community also. So we got invitation from the municipalities, and then we had dialogue, and when we said that we have very limited amount of resources but the demand is very high, then we agreed that okay, let us put our resources together, and we agreed that 75 rupees municipality brings to the project, Heifer brings 25 rupees. So Heifer manages that 100 rupees and does the work in a very effective and efficient way. And our working model empowers the community, helps them to identify their own problem and work for the solution. Very recently, I had a meeting with 16 mayors, and it was so inspiring to hear that the mayors were proposing that, okay, we have the first phase of 3 years, let us plan for the second phase, another 3 years. Resource is not an issue. What is issue is the technical model management practices that Heifer brings. That makes all the difference. So we are really headed to a very, very exciting and beautiful future for Nepal in the partnership arena as well.
worked in different parts of the globe, in different countries. What similarities and dissimilarities you found in compared to Nepali society?
I was fortunate to have the opportunity to work in Asia and beyond. From 2012 to 2016, I was also the Senior Vice President for our Eastern Europe program. When we say Eastern Europe program, that was mainly socialist countries, primarily Russian bloc countries. The poverty is there, but I found that the trust among each other, families, that was rather lower than in Asia. But then our model promoted that value system, and it worked perfectly all right. And it continues to expand. Heifer has officially stepped out from our work in Eastern Europe, but we have created a national NGO in Romania, in Ukraine, in Georgia, in Armenia, and they are expanding that program. So the model where the people identify their own problem and they draw the course of their action to solve the problem and access the resources from local government and other development organizations, that works perfectly all right. From 2015 to 2020, I also served as the Senior Vice President for Africa program, and we work in 11 countries, primarily in sub-Saharan Africa. One unique differences I have seen in Africa and Asia is that in Africa there is plenty of land. In Asia we have limited land. Unfortunately, in Africa the land was not being utilized and the farmers were not able to utilize the land. So what we did is again the values-based holistic community development, where we help the farmers to help each other, use their labor, use the technology, use the tractor, that helped to increase the income, and then connecting to the market. Accessing the capital from financial institutions was another priority area. So in general, the need of the community, the aspiration of the people, hard-working people, this is similar in Eastern Europe, in Africa, in Asia, but the culture from where they came, that is different, and the physical assets like land, etc., these are different. But when we mobilize people, then it's ultimately people who have to take charge of their destiny and then take action. So in that part, there is no difference.
Can you also tell us more about your family life?
So I am married. I have 2 children. One daughter who is now 34 years old, a son who is 30 years old. They are all educated. They have university degree. I have a wife who is living with me in the United States, in Little Rock, Arkansas. I have struggled giving my time to my family, which is the 4 of us, and my big family, which is now in Nepal, 300,000 families, who also consider me as part of them. So, but my family has been very much supportive. They understand, they respect, and they support.
I hope your family members are also looking this episode tonight. Can you also explain us about the most inspiring moment of your life? Can you describe it for us?
So there are many moments which defined who I am, where I am, etc. When I came after veterinary degree, I started to look at the whole universe from the lens of veterinary degree. And I was always very much curious, how can we make this world a better living place, but then contributing from where I came from. So since my expertise was on veterinary, livestock, production, etc., so I was looking from that angle only. So I worked like that, and until after I discovered that one time I was visiting a community where I had provided training 1 year ago, and I asked, "Do you remember anything that I trained?" She said, "No, I don't remember anything." And that was a defining moment in my life. I could have chosen to say, "These are ignorant people, they will never learn." A lot of time, I had also that temptation to say that. But then I chose another thing. There must be something I was missing. I did not do a good job in training her. For that reason, she doesn't remember. So that brought the kind of humility in me, and I became much more curious. I started to listen more, and that brought a lot of learning, which I have been sharing around the globe. So yeah, that is not easy for people to give up the ego of the personal success, be one of the ordinary people, but that's where the joy is. So I'm very happy that I'm one of that.
You mentioned about rediscovering self. So tonight, what would be your key message to the viewers, especially youngsters, to rediscover themselves?
I would like to advise all the listeners, especially youth. It's not too early to ask the question, what is it that I want to do before I die? What is it that brings happiness to me? What is meaningful? How do I go about to achieve that? Asking this question will lead to rediscovering who they are, what they want to be. That will help them not only focus on accumulation of wealth, but also there is another aspect in life that brings joy, which cannot be brought by money. Both are important. And I would encourage you all, the listeners, to take a moment in the morning or in the evening, and then continue to take some action that will lead you to rediscovering yourself and taking action that makes you joy.
Thank you, Mahendra sir, for being with us tonight. Thank you for your dose of inspiration. As I have mentioned earlier, this is the first episode of 2022 with a promise that we would be knocking your TV set and YouTube screens with more inspiring episodes in days to come. Till then, take care and keep smiling. See you after 15 days. Bye bye. Namaste.